Welcome everybody to the GenAI webinar. We have three speakers today. We have Della from ServiceNow, myself and Willem. And Della, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, good evening, depending on where you're dialing from. My name is Dele. I'm currently Director of AI Customer Engagement. I've been with ServiceNow for 3 years, but I've been in the ServiceNow ecosystem for the last 10 years. Before joining ServiceNow, I also used to be a customer, like most of you here. And yeah, I've gone through the kind of journeys that you're also passing through today.
Willem, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm Willem Zeiler. I work for Platformation. I'm a certified master architect and also 4 times most valued professional of ServiceNow. And I'm supporting our GenAI journey for our customers.
Thank you. And I'm Wout. I'm the capability lead of all the AI and GenAI features in ServiceNow. I have a background in AI and business informatics, working all years here at Platformation. Started with performance analytics, but now the capability lead of predictive intelligence, process mining, the virtual agent, and now also GenAI. We will start today with a short introduction, and then Della will talk about the roadmap from ServiceNow and some other topics. Then Willem and I will discuss the 10 steps to become GenAI-ready. We will also tell a little bit our experience, and then we saved some time for Q&A. Hopefully we have 10 minutes for Q&A, but like I said, feel free to ask your questions also during the presentation, and we will try to answer them. Introduction. So we are an official partner, GenAI partner of ServiceNow. We are very proud of that, so we are working closely together for these type of events. We also organized a GenAI roundtable a few weeks ago here on site. And we are implementing GenAI for now 25 customers already with the out-of-the-box use cases, the out-of-the-box skills like summarization. And we are also building now custom skills. I will talk about that later in the presentation. Sorry, I went too far. Customers are struggling a little bit with showing the adding value when the AI features. And we as Platformation are always on the forefront with implementing all the new features. So I think more than 10 years ago, we started with performance analytics. Process mining and AI is quite new. And now also it's already there for a couple of years, but GenAI is quite new. Because we are experienced in all these topics, we created the Now Intelligence feature mapping, how to combine these features and how they are working together. Yeah, and of course it all starts, this is a version, by the way, it's not everything that is included. But of course it all starts with analytics to get some insights into your data. I really like process mining is to shine a light on the actual behavior instead of the intended behavior. There's a big AI component, predictive intelligence. So for example, with classification, you can predict a field based on the short description and description of a ticket. Predicting the assignment group, predicting a service offering. I also really like the similarity framework, which can check for similar tickets, which can help the agent with solving the current incident, for example. GenAI is taking over natural language understanding. So first it was quite difficult or quite some work to create a virtual agent conversation or a virtual agent topic. And with GenAI, it will be way better and more simple to set up the virtual agent conversations. I will also come back to that later, but in the AI search and in the virtual agent, GenAI is involved. And you have the Now Assist, which are the out-of-the-box GenAI features from ServiceNow. And you have the GenAI controller, where you also can integrate with a third-party large language model. That is also what you see here on this slide. And there's now also a third option, which is quite new. So on the left side, you see the Now Assist features from ServiceNow. They built their own large language model. And for example, summarization, code generation, knowledge generation is all available on the left side of this view. Then on the right side, you have the generative AI controller. Like I said, you can integrate with a third-party large language model. If you're already using an external platform, then you can integrate that into your ServiceNow flows. And now you have a third option in the middle. So if the use cases are not available yet in ServiceNow, for example, summarization is already available, but if you have a use case which is not available yet, then you can build your own custom skills in the platform, making use of the ServiceNow large language model, but you can build your own prompts, which is a really nice feature. We are already building some custom ourselves. Stella, you can take it over.
Hey, you quickly share. The slide up?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you, Maud. So AI, GenAI now assists, right? Very exciting technology, potential to be a game changer for so many organizations. Some organizations are already seeing the benefits, already seeing the value, right? But let's admit, there's a lot of hype, right? When it comes to AI, GenAI. I'm sure you all watch the news, hear about innovations coming out every day in this space. When I talk to customers, they all want to know, what does this mean for me specifically? What does it mean for my organization? What does it mean for my enterprise? And how does it impact the way we work? What results can we get from it? Okay, and they ask ServiceNow, how can ServiceNow help them in their journey towards AI maturity? All right, so we'll be taking a walkthrough of certain capabilities that have been released and what is coming next, and basically why you should trust ServiceNow and why you should bank on ServiceNow to support your workflows, to support your business processes. Before we continue, Safe Harbor, I will be talking about some capabilities, some skills, some features that are not yet released. Please put that into consideration before making any purchase decisions. So please do not go sign the check based on what you see today. But if you have questions, reach out to your account teams and they will support you with any questions you have. The reason being that some of these plans could change because it's a very dynamic field, it's a very dynamic space. So there could be changes made to some plans, which I will show you today. All right. Maud has already done a fantastic job presenting the AI in the ServiceNow platform, right? Now, ServiceNow AI dates back to 2017 when we had the first acquisition, right? So the ServiceNow AI capabilities that you see today are mostly through acquisitions from different organizations, different companies that ServiceNow has purchased in the past, right? And what we've done is to re-platform these capabilities onto the platform to ensure that it's not an integration to say, but really directly working and directly feeding into your business processes and your workflows, right? So more talk about classification, similarity, clustering. She's a great fan of that. In fact, that's how we met many years ago when she did that while I was a customer. And those capabilities were the starting point for ServiceNow AI as far back as 2018, when it was replatformed and integrated with ServiceNow. Since then, we've gone to NLU, we've gone to all those other things. So I'll not bother to repeat them again. So we've gone to a lot of those other things that Maud mentioned. And in the last 2 years, it's mostly been about Now Assist, right, which is based on generative AI technology, right? So 2023, 2024, the things you see in green are all Now Assist capabilities. We'll be talking about some of them in the next couple of slides. Okay. So what we've done is to ensure that the products that we've released have really been strategic in the sense that these products are designed to support our customers to improve their capabilities, to improve productivity, to improve self-service, and ensure that you can realize the benefits of AI and GenAI, right? If we go on, so what we've seen is that AI-powered business transformation is now here, right? It's something that has been talked about for many years, for decades even, right? How can we transform businesses using artificial intelligence? But the era has really arrived. And you can begin to see that all around you, right? Thousands, hundreds of thousands of developers worldwide are now using GitHub Copilot to improve their speed of creating code, right? To improve the quality of the code that they create. Because if we have so much data out there that can guide our developers in knowing how best to create applications, create code, why reinvent the wheel and spend so much time to do it, right? So these tools and these capabilities are out there to hasten, fast track, improve productivity of our different employees, right? If you look at even non-developers, now they use ChatGPT freely. Most of them use it at home. Some of them use it at work, right? These are all AI capabilities that has led to tremendous business transformation, right? Whether it's in the processing of contracts, in the processing of invoices, in the processing of your supply chain, farms, whatever area it is, there are different capabilities and there are different opportunities to use generative AI to improve your productivity. And that's what we're beginning to see. So ServiceNow being a strategic platform that organizations already use, right, to handle different business processes and workflows in customer service, asset management, industry solutions, finance and supply chain, human resources, IT, everywhere, right? You already have your applications based on ServiceNow, living in ServiceNow, right? So we're strategically positioned to use that platform to also hasten your business transformation, right? The benefit of ServiceNow, as most of you know, is that it's one platform, right? It's not an integration of different tools like a lot of our competitors do, right? It's one platform, everything resides there, integrated on one single data model, right? So that's the huge benefit that we derive from positioning AI on this platform, that we can use AI to enable those business processes and improve the productivity of our workforce. So what you see is that a lot of organizations are just getting started, but we have some AI pace setters, right, who are tremendously utilizing these functionalities to improve their business processes, to transform their businesses. So ServiceNow partnered with the Oxford Economics Group to do a maturity assessment, and we've published what we call a maturity index, right? The maturity index gives information and insights on what companies are doing in order to improve the return on investment from GenAI. This is not about Now Assist, right? This is about GenAI in general, right? And what we've seen is that those pace setters have really tremendously moved the needle in terms of strategy, in terms of the use cases that they've enabled using GenAI, and as well as the talent that they have, right, in that area to ensure that they can realize the benefits. Okay, so these pay setters are greatly accelerating the return on investment. They're innovating responsibly, right? They're putting the right guardrails in place to ensure safety. Okay, and they're being guided by visionary leaders, which is very important. So their sponsorship at very high levels. Decisions are taken in the proper way to ensure that the return on investment is realized. Okay, so we're talking about what makes these pay setters successful. But before then, let's look at what makes us different, ServiceNow, right? I've talked about the platform, embedding AI onto the platform and not just integrating different tools. And there are three main ingredients to the secret of the success of the ServiceNow platform as an AI platform, right? So the first one is data, right? In terms of being a single platform that has one data model with connection to different solutions, different enterprise solutions like SAP, Oracle, whatever it is that you have in your organization, right? We can build those connections in. Okay. The second one is that the AI technology that we build is based on specific models that we have trained and built to deliver use cases on the ServiceNow platform. So these are not generic models; these are domain-specific models, right? To handle specific use cases that our customers are using, right, on the ServiceNow platform. And thirdly, it's about the automation that we bring in. The workflows are now empowered and enabled using AI. So those are the three main ingredients to the success of the AI platform of ServiceNow. Now, if we look at the data aspect of it, right? You have your data in ServiceNow. I believe most of you are ServiceNow customers, if not all, right? You already have your data in ServiceNow, right? About your people, about your the organizational structure, about your workflows, about the business processes that you enable, right? You all have some of you have decades, at least a decade of worth of data. Some of you have multiple years of data, right? That's a real asset, right? Now combine that with the other systems that you have, right? Like Workday, SAP, SuccessFactors, Oracle, and so on, right? With the integration possibilities on the ServiceNow platform for you to make use of such data that you have, right? Combine it with different services, workflows, and the automations that you have in place, you have the right mix to enable you get the data that is required for AI. So some of you wonder, okay, how do we get started? Because data is important, right? I'm sure Maud and William will be talking later about how to get started, but we recognize that data is really important, and that's the benefit of a single data platform. Okay. Now, then we go to what we provide in terms of AI itself. Okay. Some of you might be seeing this for the first time. What we've done is that we've created specific models that are designed to deliver use cases that our customers need based on the data that they have on the platform, based on the workflows that they enable on the platform. All right. And these models are cost effective, they're secure. I'll tell you a bit more about how we ensure security. And they also assure you of speed, right? Which is very important because nobody wants to wait 5 minutes for a transaction to be completed or to get a result, right? Based on a question you ask or based on a process that you're trying to complete. Nobody wants to wait that long, right? So speed is very important. Accuracy is very important. The cost is also very important, right? Now, this is built on a platform. It's just an extension of the current licenses you have that will get you there. So you don't need to buy different hardware or go sign a different contract with a provider in order to use this. But one question that a lot of customers ask us is, okay, what if we already have our own models? We already have an agreement with OpenAI, with Microsoft, with Google, and we want to use those models. That is also now possible, right? So Maud was talking about skill kits, the ability to build skills, right? So you can now build custom use cases on the platform to deliver the things that you need as an organization, if it's different from what we provide out of the box. So we have a lot of out of the box examples. I'll show you some of them, right? But when a specific need is required of your organization and it's not met using the out of box skills or use cases, then you have the freedom and the ability to customize it, build it on your own, right? Using your own LLMs or even using the Now Assist LLMs, right? So we call them Now LLMs. You can also use our LLMs just like you use the other LLMs, okay? So lastly, we come to automation, right? And for automation, we're talking about the ability to transform your self-service, right? Speed up the rate at which your users can serve themselves, unlock productivity gains, right? Boost your developer gains and productivity, right? And also accelerate overall time to value, okay? And we're beginning to see results already from key customers. I'll be showing you a few more in a while, right? So for instance, British Telecom has already realized 33% decrease in MTTR. Trimedics has realized 22% increase in developer productivity, right? From Teleperformance, they're already seeing savings of 15 to 25 minutes, depending on the maturity and seniority of their agents. They're seeing benefits in terms of savings in processing of major incidents, right? So those are some gains. This is not hype anymore. This is now real, okay? So how easy is it to get it done? Now, well, what we're seeing is that, and you see some testimonies from customers, what we're seeing is that it's something that you can get up and running within days, no longer weeks, months, years, right? Because it's as simple as 3 steps. 1, install Now Assist, configure it on your instance, and deploy it to the workload that you need it for, right? And you can get this done in days. You can be up and running. Your end users, your agents, your developers can begin to realize value days after purchase, right? Days after installation, and not years as it used to be with typical AI investments, okay? And these are some stats that we've collated from customers that have gone live with Now Assist. 22% increase in developer productivity, more than 10 percentage points improvements in deflection, right? And more than 99% customer satisfaction, which is an improvement from what we used to have as 80%. This is another example, customer example, British Telecom. I mentioned it earlier. This is the direct quote from one of the leaders there, right? Our approach powered by ServiceNow and enhanced with AI will transform customer experience at BT, right? Unlocking value at every stage. So BT is the largest and the oldest telecom company in the world. BT needed to standardize and streamline the service experience for the customer support, right? And they introduced Now Assist for telco service management. The outcome that they realized was that they have seen great results, as you can see from the numbers there, right? Another example is Kainos. Kainos is in the business of providing workday services to smaller organizations that typically might not be able to afford to purchase and implement Workday, right? So you can consider like a Workday MSP, right? So their focus is really small customers, and they provide a Workday platform. But because they have so many customers using their platform for Workday services, they need to provide customer service, right? And they need to provide knowledge in case customers have a question or customers run into an issue, right? Instead of waiting for a human agent to attend to you, you can easily search, right? Typical customer service work. So Workday is providing customer service support to their customers. And with Now Assist, they've been able to accelerate their self-service strategy. They have created over 600 knowledge articles using Now Assist capabilities, right? Which is one of the skills that we've released. and they are now using that to improve their deflection. Okay. The AI that we provide on the ServiceNow platform is something you can trust. Right. There are four main pillars or principles, right? One is that it's human-centered because we provide clear guidance on AI usage. We make it easy for you to see how you're using it, what it's being used for. It's inclusive, right? Because the data that we use reflects diversity. It's transparent, right? Because we are very clear and very open about the type of models we use and the risks with using those models, right? And we also provide accountability in terms of making sure that you understand what you're doing, you can see it, right? And you can make the right decisions. So that is what we provide on the platform. I would like to a short video. I hope the sound is coming across. Yeah. Is there a way to know? Good. All right. So you might have heard Copilot mentioned there, right? And that's one of the things that ServiceNow is doing, that we're not developing AI in a silo, right? So we're working with so many organizations like Microsoft to enhance the capabilities that are out there for the benefit of all our customers, right? So lots of customers are using Microsoft Copilot. We bring in the power of Now Assist. They work together, right? This is provided through Microsoft Teams, which is one channel that a lot of end users use throughout the day. So make it accessible for them to use this product and get the value. Because if you don't take it to them, if you make it complex for them to find, to locate, then they will not use it. And then that slows down your return on investment. So that's one of the things you need to look at, right? It's not just enabling the technology. It's not just setting up the technology, but how do you make sure that your end users can use it, right? If ChatGPT was something that users had to apply for and download and install and go through so many hoops, they probably will not achieve the kind of usage that they see today, right? So that's very important. Copilot has already been mentioned, so I'll not go too much into this slide because I need to round up. But very briefly, for the benefit of those who are not very familiar with the Now Assist capabilities, which are spread across different workflows, right? So whether you're talking about IT in terms of managing your incidents, providing summaries to incidents, providing summaries for chats between end users and your agents, providing knowledge article generation to speed up the creation of knowledge articles in your knowledge base, right? Providing search, making sure that users can find the content that they're looking for, making sure that you improve the virtual agent experience through multi-turn catalog ordering and multi-turn Q&A, right? Summarizing feedback in SPM. The list goes on and on, right? And if you go to customer service or you go to HR, it's also a very lengthy list. And every quarter, I can tell you that hundreds of new capabilities are released, right? If you look in the area of app generation for your developers, you can get support with skills that can help with app generation, code generation, flow generation, playbook generation, catalog generation, and so many more, right? So these are some of the capabilities that have already been released, and there's much more that's coming. Now, it's not, the capabilities of Now Assist are not only restricted to IT, HR, CSM. You will also see that we have capabilities in the ITOM space for those of you who are more into IT operations, SPM, those of you who use strategic portfolio management, FSM, and so many other areas of the platform. Okay. Before I go and hand over back to Maud and Willem, quick look at the roadmap in the upcoming period. Q4, which we already are in, 7th of November, we already released the capabilities that you see under Q4. So we're talking about improving contextual responses for end users, knowledge creation, call it version 2. We already had one version before, but now with this release of the November release, you can now use multiple incidents to create a knowledge article, right? And these are the kind of improvements that you benefit from on the ServiceNow platform. So when we released knowledge generation the first time, it was that from one incident, you can create one knowledge article, right? But based on feedback from you, from other customers, we've improved that capability such that, because in reality, you might have a collection of incidents that you want to use to create one knowledge article. So now that is possible. All right. So those are the kind of benefits you get from the ServiceNow platform, that we're continuously improving and evolving the products to ensure that you can realize the value. Integration and experience generation for creators is there. Now Assist Guardian to handle responsible AI, to put guardrails in place, has been released. In Q1, we're talking about seamless self-service, right, to improve the self-service experience for our users, right, whether they're using a virtual agent for catalog ordering or QA, improve that experience. AI agents, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about agentic workflows, agentic AI. That's one of the top big things coming out in 2025. Because of time, I will not be able to go in, but if you have questions, I'll answer in the chat and I can provide references, materials. RPA bot test generation also in Q1. Guided setup is going to be improved in Q1. And further down in Q2 2025, we have enterprise search, we have knowledge center for your agents, right? And for creators, the ability to edit objects, right? So you had talked about flow generation, code generation, app generation, and so on. But how can we edit flows, apps, and things like that using Now Assist? Not just create, right? Now we can do creation, but where we're going is that even the existing ones that have been created, how can we edit them to improve them, right? And voice assist, which is a big one. A lot of customers are asking, when are we going to be able to now speak, talk, and get actions done? All right. So thank you very much. That's all I have for now. And I'm here to help answer any questions.
Thank you. Excited about what is all coming in the next year. But a lot of customers are asking, okay, where do we start? And how do we need to start? I'm sharing my screen again. And we want to discuss 10 steps to become AI ready. Of course, it will be a short version of 10 steps, but we will do our best to help you starting with AI and GenAI. So what we always do is follow these 5 steps. So if we are talking with a customer, we always start with defining a business case. What do you want to solve, or what do you want to achieve? And sometimes the result is not an AI or GenAI feature, but maybe it's just a simple automation. But we are there to start with an assessment to check, okay, what is the maturity of your instance? Are you already AI and GenAI ready? And to build a roadmap together. Also with the Now Assist implementations that we are now doing for those 25 customers, we always start with an assessment. That assessment is focusing on the technical capabilities. So is your instance technical ready to use the GenAI features? But we can broaden that assessment, of course. Then we always start with a pilot. So always start small, think big, but start with a small use case, with a small feature. It is really helping. And also, for example, we implemented summarization already a lot. And then you have also nice discussions when people are going to test it. Okay, but what is a good summarization? What do I want in a summarization of an incident? Etc., etc. Then we evaluate. So we always keep track, okay, is the feature used by the people? What do people think of the feature? Then we celebrate. So we see in companies, it's really helpful if you share as a team the success of your GenAI feature or any other AI feature that you implemented. If you make everyone excited, it's really helpful to get the ball rolling and to also scale the other implementations, which is step 5 in our process. Second thing, a lot of customers or people are asking to me, okay, but what is the difference between AI and GenAI? So artificial intelligence, which are if we translate it to ServiceNow, it is the predictive intelligence features in ServiceNow. So they really like to give their own names to, for example, AI is predictive intelligence, GenAI is the Now Assist features in ServiceNow. AI is really trained on the data you have in your own instance. So if you want to predict an assignment group based on the short description and description of an incident, we always train the AI model based on your own customer data. For example, assignment groups, other customers have different assignment groups, so it needs to be customer specific. And the output can be predicting an assignment group, predicting a service, try to find similar incidents, cluster instance to find automation opportunities, etc. With GenAI, the model is trained on a way larger set of data. So with the large language model of ServiceNow, the Now LLM, the model is trained on a big set of customer data. So it's not specific on your own data. And you have to focus on generating content. Indeed, a summarization, a resolution notes generation, a knowledge article, and there are way more examples, of course. Third thing is to have the right overall goal clear. What I already told you in the beginning. sometimes it's difficult to show the added value when you're implementing maybe just one Now Assist skill. But I think if you focus on the goal should be that you are going to lower the L3 instance and the L2 instance, or maybe even remove the level 2 of service desk, and that you higher the number of L1 service of instance tickets, and that you increase the self-service. And there are a lot of possibilities with the AI and GenAI features to make it work. This is also easy to measure in the end, right? And then you can see, okay, how many L2, L3 instances do I still have after implementing all those automation opportunities? And the enablement will go up and the cost will go down, and hopefully the CSAT will also go up as a result of it.
Yeah, so Maud, thank you. There's a lot of benefits in there, right? If you pick the right use cases. But reality is also that there are some challenges. As an architect, you also always see the bears on the road, as we say. So there's some external challenges and internal challenges we see at our customers. Picking the right use case is already a good start of not having to deal with all these challenges at once. And then, of course, the second thing is having a right approach to tackle these challenges. But it all starts with realizing that there are, in fact, challenges. Dele mentioned about trust. ServiceNow investigated, they were the number one transparent large language model. So you can find a lot of information that builds trust. Costs, with the economic changes, inflation might play a role, the economy, but also technology is evolving. So which skills we can use today? Dele already showed us by what we have today. Tomorrow it might already look different. One of the major challenges here in Europe are also the rules and regulations. A lot of debate on that. Being aware and having a partner, and also ServiceNow being aware of legislations, how to handle it. Simple things like just showing it's AI generated. The impact on the environment. There's a lot of challenges that, of course, can be mitigated. So the right business case with the right mitigating actions, I think that's key. And then number 5, it's not a standalone exercise. Maud already said, by having that clear business case, we can help determine if this is GenAI, if it's AI, or just smart automation. I'm saying just that, but we have already over 15 years of experience, and in this room, I think over 50 years.
Yeah.
So combining those products, and Dele mentioned also the importance of data. We show here foundation data. You know the people in your organization, you know your customers, you know the policies, the contract, the cases. You have the new gold data. So leverage that more and more within the platform with smart automations, with knowledge management, the catalog, and then, of course, to top it all off, AI and GenAI.
I was smiling because I had this same question coming up this morning, right? Where a customer had a use case, and the use case could be delivered with predictive intelligence or task intelligence, right? But they want to do everything with GenAI. They think GenAI is the savior of mankind. And the truth is, there's so many technologies out there that could help, right? So sometimes you need to make that proper assessment to know whether your use case is actually a GenAI use case or a plain AI use case, or is simply automation.
That's also what we see at our customers. I think we had with 25 customers meetings the last couple of weeks and months to discuss what is possible.
Yeah.
But if you were going to really talk, maybe there's already a lot to fix with or to improve with automation and AI.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we talk about data, this is a more, I would say, example depiction of what Dele already showed, the knowledge graph with by connecting all those data points and the metadata that we already have, we can get a clear picture. So we showed this at World Forum. In the middle, very handsome guy, it's me. Already within the ServiceNow system, a lot is known. So this was a use case from a lease provider. They know I have an electric car. I have a contract of 2 years. I work for Platformation. Platformation has certain policies in place. I have a charging card. And the combination of me having an electric car and a Dutch charging card, when I said to them, I'm going for a holiday in France, they said, well, maybe not a good idea with the Dutch charging card. So let's exchange it for an European coverage card, because that's also in the policies of Platformation. And they arranged it with our HR internally. Having that information as an agent, as a service desk agent, and where we see the trend that service desks turn more into machines, the machines will help us actually become more human, because now they understand the challenges I might have faced with a charging card that doesn't work in France.
And I think the knowledge graph will be more and more important in the coming months.
So especially with agentic AI, right? Because if you just hear the example from Willem, right, you can already imagine that an AI agent can learn from a human agent exactly what has the discussion that the human agent had with Willem, such that the AI agent in future can do exactly the same and say, hey, Willem, I noticed you're trying to travel. This is the subscription you have. I would advise you get this subscription because, right, as long as the knowledge is there somewhere, AI agents can learn from it and they can build workflows to address that in future.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then I think, Dele, thank you for this bridge, because if we think AI agents, maybe I'm a bit old, but I also think of the Terminator, right? Where the computers take over. So we need a company to save us from Skynet. No, but all jokes aside, one of the challenges that we also think about is the governance of AI. That includes, as a company, having a statement on where you want to be in terms of the inclusiveness of the model, having the human in the loop, where we now have Now Assist, it's assisting humans. The vision of ServiceNow and also Platformation is that service desk, of course, AI agents are there. Let's say you have 10 AI agents and 1 human agent, because you always need that governance, that human touch in there, the human in the loop. It needs to be transparent, so we need to follow along. If it's starting to think about world domination, we pull the plug. And it needs to be accountable, because that's also a discussion. The self-driving cars, is the car then responsible? Yeah, because that's the thing that is driving, or is it the human? That's why they still have the steering wheels, because they want to say the human is responsible. Having a plan, having clarity there, I think that's also key in terms of serving those use cases. And then if we have those use cases defined, we already talked about which technology should solve it. And one of my favorite conversations is here the buy, extend, or build conversation. Because what you sometimes hear, a lot of the success stories as well, is that companies have built their own large language model. They put it on the market, it's highly tailored, it does everything they need. But of course, it's the highest cost you can imagine. Build it all yourself, the whole stack, it's quite expensive. So finding the right thing to do.
And
maintaining it, indeed. It's not just buying, but also maintaining. Where we help the customers with those use cases. Of course, you can build your own model to solve that use case, but maybe you can just fine-tune an existing model, which is still a bit expensive, but can serve a purpose. Or what we also see, sometimes retrieval augmented generation, just providing an existing model with a bit of context already solves that use case. The investment is way lower than building your own model, but you still get the same benefits. So that balance, and that's why we're here to help as well. The importance of data,
and step 8 is start now. So my next slide is about indeed a little bit about agentic AI, but now the agent can make use of a lot of different Now Assist features already, like what we already told you in the beginning, a knowledge article creation, ordering a catalog item via the virtual agent, get a summary of the most relevant knowledge article if you search for something in the portal, that you don't have to open the knowledge article and read it all over, but that you just get a summary. And like Della already told you in his presentation, it's domain specific, it is responsible, and data will be retained within ServiceNow. But the next step, and it's on the roadmap for the beginning of next year, we are already working on this plan and building custom skills. But next to that, there will be AI agents, and those AI assistants can accomplish already manual or repetitive tasks. So, for example, they can already help the AI agent can help the agent with retrieving the right knowledge article, already analyzing similar tickets, or already generating an email response before the agent, the human in the loop, is going to work on the ticket. So that's also what Willem told. Maybe the real agent can have multiple AI agents already doing a lot of work for the real agent to help in the end the user. And the advantage with the custom skill kit, if the out-of-the-box use or skills are not there yet, you can create your own AI agents, which is really helpful for your specific use cases within your company. You can stay in control, so you know what type of AI agents you build, you know what type of actions they can perform for your agents, but then still the agent will be in the loop. And indeed, you can harness the power of the whole ServiceNow platform. And in the end, but maybe the article was there, I think, released 2 weeks ago. Right now, you can use your ServiceNow data, but with the data fabric from ServiceNow, you can integrate with a lot of external systems, and you can combine all the information that you have in Workday, SAP, etc., to give that knowledge to the Now Assist and to make the AI agent even more powerful.
Yeah, and then finally, this is maybe an overwhelming slide, but since there was also no questions, we can elaborate a bit more. But it all comes down to that responsible AI again. So knowing the right technology at the right time, it starts with defining the right use case, because some use cases are riskier than others. That's also why European legislation is not legislating based on the technology, it's based on the use case. So if you have more risky use cases, there's more things to take care of. So the positioning, the purpose, the promise, and the communication around it, around that use case, is key. If you pilot it, share that. Then, of course, the application by using different technologies and meta prompting, grounding, providing context of that use case, it makes it more safe. All those principles are really, without talking technology too much. For the prompt, you have prompt engineering that ServiceNow also helps you with the skill kit. And then a lot of safety systems. You can fine-tune your AI to provide more specific to your company answers. And we also see the development of AI validating and keeping in checks AI. So GenAI within AI, doing those checks. Our strategy includes the things that you need to monitor. So already in the use case, start thinking about how we measure success. Of course, that's key, but also how do we monitor responsible AI usage? How do we check for hallucinations, biases, profanity, those kind of topics? Keep track of that, report on it actively.
Yeah. And we now have, like I mentioned earlier, from November 7th, we now have Now Assist Guardian, specifically designed to address that. And ServiceNow will continue to invest in that area because responsible AI is something that we take very seriously, and we'll continue to improve the Now Assist Guardian to ensure that all these things that you see at the bottom of this slide, hallucinations, bias, profanity, and so on, you can check them, right? And you have options. You can either log it as an administrator, you can simply log it, or you could log and block. right? So whether it's coming from the user who is using the skill, the use case, or it's coming from the output of the LLM, you can decide what you want to do. So you can block, or if you just want to monitor, you could also log. Yeah.
Are there some Q&A? Are there some questions in
No,
the...
it's quite quiet in the Q&A. We are happy to collaborate. So if you watch this back, have questions, Dele is a good friend of ours who is also always looking for good questions to answer. So the three of us happy to help. If you have a question now, feel free to put it in the Q&A. And otherwise, we would like to ask you to scan this the QR code to provide us with feedback. We hope you enjoyed this call, but feel free to provide input also for us to learn for next time.
Yep, I think we have a few minutes left, so let's see if there will be some questions, but hopefully you can share this QR code to give us some feedback, because we only have a...
There's one question now.
Thank you slide left. Oh, can you check the question?
Yeah, it's a question about the licensing cost. So I think licensing cost, that's always the favorite topic for ServiceNow.
For those of you who have been customers for a while, you know that licensing is customer specific. So yeah, there's no one cost that I can give on that. What I can tell you is that if you're already using ITSM Pro or CSM Pro or HRSD Pro or SPM Pro or any of those Pro packages, you will need to get the subscription to what we call Pro Plus, right? So get ITSM Pro Plus, and that gives you the GenAI capabilities, right? With ITSM Pro, you will get the other AI capabilities that Maud talked about earlier, predictive intelligence, NLU, and so on. But if you want to get GenAI, then you need to get the new subscription called ITSM Pro Plus or HRSD Pro Plus or CSM Pro Plus, and so on.
And I think maybe to add to that in the conversation, I think what helped with our customers as well is what Maud mentioned: start small, think big. What we see, if you talk about the cost, that's always a difficult discussion, right? You can always say costs, benefits.
Yeah.
What helps is try it. Proof of concept. Know in the use case what you want to measure. Of course, we measure the cost because that's a clear euro or dollar sign thing.
Yeah.
But the value, a lot of the value that companies are looking for, that C-level is interested in, might not easily be represented in euros or dollars. And thinking about what pseudo measurement you will use there and making that business case, that is key. And a trial or a proof of concept might really help in that sense as well to get that clarity.
Yeah, and make sure you carry your users along, whether they're end users or agents, carry them along, make sure that they buy into the change, because ultimately they're the ones that will use it or not use it. So the more you can engage them early on, think of organizational change management, user adoption, how can you improve the usage once you go live, right? So that's one other tip that I will give.
So we got one question in the Q&A, but looking at the time, maybe we can answer it offline because it's asking how can GenAI automate incident classification prioritization, predict incident, and predict maintenance and issue resolutions?
Yeah, I can give a 30 seconds answer. Yeah. Automate incident classification, you can do that with predictive intelligence. But if you want to use GenAI, you can also do that in GenAI. Prioritization, classification of incidents, that can be done with GenAI. But we also have legacy solutions like predictive intelligence, task intelligence, right? Task intelligence was released about 2 years back that can also do that. Predict incidents, yes, we now have capabilities that can help you. You probably have heard of AI Ops, right? AI Ops is basically to help predict and prevent incidents from happening. Those are AI capabilities on the ServiceNow platform. Predict maintenance and issue resolution is also, yes, something that we had before GenAI. We are launching now improvements to that. And AI agents will also be doing issue resolution, right? to help agents. So instead of having a human agent who is supporting an end user to resolve an issue, use AI agents to do that. So that will come with AI agents next year. Yeah.
Perfect. Then thanks a lot for listening. And indeed, if there are any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we will send the slides and the recording to you.